Hello, everyone. It is Sunday, the 17th of March, 2024, which can be seen as the third month and the 17th day, or it could be seen as the first month and the 17th day. So you got that 117 connection as well. If you consider March to be the first month, and then you take a look at it also being where the spring equinox happens on the 20th of March, and then where even with September, October, November, and December, these correlate with the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th numbers. And also again with the months as well, you can look at September 11th as not the 9th month, but it could also be looked at as the 7th month because of the name and certain calendar systems. So I hope that makes sense. Such a long video yesterday. I did 2 videos yesterday, but the one in the evening or in the late afternoon, I guess, was interesting. So just a lot of frustrations because the people that are causing the most grief, and I don't mean to single people out, but the people that are causing the most grief are people that are just seeming to be of a various demographic and live in a certain area, right? So like people that are usually city dwellers. And so this is Matthew Norman Balak. He works for the World Bank and is a former Bank of Canada employee. And so he's a former Bank of Canada employee. And as I mentioned, and I can share proof of this, I've done executive protection. One of a few people selected to do executive protection for the heads of the Bank of Canada. So the governor and the SDG, and they're not like that. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they're just as upset and appalled at this whole situation. You know, because again, like not everyone within certain industries is bad or in on it or whatever, exploiting people. And this is all institutions and organizations I'm talking about. And yes, I also do mean in Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, any of these groups as well. Like there are people that are drinking the Kool-Aid, not realizing that, you know, they're not being helpful. They're being exploitative and killing people. But anyway, I'm just going to go through this. FBI arrests Saskatoon or Saskatchewan man. Okay, that's Canada. That's a province in Canada. And World Bank employee on child porn charge. Matthew Norman Balak works for the World Bank and is a former Bank of Canada employee and is from Outlook, Saskatchewan. Balak allegedly distributed videos depicting the sadistic sexual abuse of toddlers and prepubescent children. According to the January 23rd, 2024 indictment, which was unsealed in February, Balak distributed 3 video files depicting adult males engaging in sexually explicit conduct with minors via social media communication application, via a social media communication. So U.S. court documents allege that the videos allegedly shared by Balak for purposes of his own sexual gratification depict extremely young and vulnerable children who are crying in pain as they are being raped by adult men. And so this is triggering for someone like me because in my industry, it's fucking disgusting. But this stuff that he's sharing, there are people that are elected officials, people that are working in all levels of fucking government, okay, that are just like him and look exactly like fucking him. And again, I'm not pointing anyone out. Again, like this is not to single people out. So again, I hope he gets arrested. I hope he gets investigated. You know, if these are, you know, if the like proof, you know, all of that stuff needs to be put in place. Obviously, he should have a fair trial. All of that stuff, right? Like because again, like this is like he's being indicted. All that stuff. Right. So anyway, look, I'm just throwing this out there. And so these are the people, that I wanted to say that like live in fucking cities or in the outskirts, well, not the outskirts, or in the suburbs that are now being turned into cities, but they're mostly living in the cities, drinking Starbucks or their fucking Tim Hortons and stuff like that, going to their desk job, okay, and zero reality when it comes to people that live in rural areas or farm areas. And they're the ones that are hiking up the interest rates for us living in these areas, despite the fact that myself and people like me are not being lazy, okay, and going from our fucking high-rise apartment to a fucking downtown office and only doing that, we're managing soil. Even me, I'm on 5 acres, and it's a lot of fucking hard work for a single female, and I have multiple animals, and I feed the deer. I feed the wildlife in order to like make it better flourish in the area. I feed the birds, the chipmunks, you fucking name it too, and I have animals, and I'm managing the fucking land, okay, and you have to manage the land, right? Like, so if you just leave areas for things to grow over, that's when mold and rot and like overgrowth and like you don't have like the grazing of the soil to have that exchange of carbon dioxide, oxygen, etc., that helps to filter the fucking air. And so this guy is approving builds, okay, and mass immigration that are causing harm to women like me, Okay, actually, women like me getting tagged, our homes tagged, okay, by also people within his group, a demographic I'm talking about. And again, this is not to show hate or anything like that, but like I'm not the one. Like women, conservative or traditional women, and again, I'm not even like I have tattoos. I'm well traveled. I'm an academic. Like all of this stuff. I'm fairly independent for anyone. And so again, I'm not like a fucking nun, like sitting at home, like counting my rosary fucking beads every day. But what I'm saying is like there's an attack on women like me, very much by people like this, and they seem to just not like women. And I think it's a failure with his parents. Okay, you know, like whatever his parental situation was, I don't know, but it was failed, and I'm sorry for that. And then the education system, like that stuff as well, especially within the Ottawa area, like, or not the Ottawa area, Canada. So because he comes from Saskatchewan, but if you want an Ottawa example, I don't even know if he's from Ottawa or not. Yeah, people usually get a little more triggered too when they talk about things that are traumatic. Like, and so I have complex PTSD. And so like when I talk about things like that are traumatic and awful, what I just fucking shared with you, because within my experience and stuff like that, I've seen children or heard of children getting tortured, getting raped, getting acid burn victims, you fucking name it, like the worst things to ever happen. And again, like people that are still elected officials that have committed crimes against children, and they are still working for us. So our prime minister, you know, you can say whatever you want, but there are, you know, there's strong evidence. And even Pierre Poilievre, like, and again, I'm not saying he's the answer anymore either. And actually, in fact, I voted PPC in the last election because like he was really on the wrong side of the mandates about all the fucking wars. Like he's on the wrong side about a lot of stuff, and he's not vocal about things that he needs to be vocal for. And he's very vocal for things that are getting us more involved into societal collapses and international genocides and stuff like that. And so again, not the answer either, but this is Justin Ling. So this is again a guy that has not been of service. He's likely a suburbia dweller, probably had shitty parents, no offense. And come from like a shitty public school, maybe, like, again, like this is no offense, or even like these Ivy League schools now, like you just, congratulations, you paid to be like the most heavily psyopsed, like, well done. Wharton School, Harvard, fucking, you name it. Like I try to talk with people from these schools, at least more recently, and they are fucking like, read a book, get off social media where you're getting all your fucking resources and your sources and your fucking whatever you want to call it. Get out of your house, get out of the city, like actually go fucking for a hike, maybe meditate and come to Jesus. I'm just kidding. But Justin Ling, he worked for CBC and Vice News. He doesn't have any defense experience. I don't know if he has a security clearance or any of that stuff. He's never been of service. He's never done anything for his community. And he is the one that CSIS used two of his articles, an article and a tweet that he fucking made in order to declare an emergency act. They were using him as a viable, credible source, not me, who has literally worked. I was a fucking officer in the special forces, 15 years as an infantry officer, deployed, all of this fucking stuff in high level positions with a huge management tasks and organizational stuff to do. And even anyway, I could go on a fucking list, but like this guy, like literally was listened to over me. And then that other fucking guy I just showed you, Matthew, whatever the fuck his name was, again, like he's seen as a more credible source than me in Canada and internationally. And I'm fucking over it, right? Like, can these people not get fucking fired already and jailed? And so, and not that I'm supporting Trump at all. Again, I'm not even American. There's a lot of stuff that is shared that is very misleading against him as well in the media. And so even though like I don't necessarily think he should be the one that should be the president of the United States, I don't think he's as bad as people think he is. And I think that people who are genuinely, as soon as you say his name, like they like freak out and stuff like that, or, you know, or even fawn. Like I also feel like we need to like take a look at idolizing false prophets, right? And you know, but anyway, his platform, like stuff that he's pushing, you know, it's I agree with a lot of it. And so like, that's where as well, is it hard? Is he going to actually commit to the promises that he, you know, made like for his platform? Because a lot of politicians don't do that. A lot of politicians make promises and things seem to be better for people, for their lives, like conveniently, like when like, especially with the liberals, like like during election time, they're going to be so nice to us. It's going to be like record highs of like employment and like record low, like all of these, it's going to be bullshit and it's going to be lies. And by people that still want to maintain their power, and Stephen Guilbeault as well, like this guy. And again, this is, I'm not, and to be clear, this is not me singling out homosexuals. I am not at all. I'm singling out leftist extremist men that have caused significant harm to Canada and Canadians, especially even on the international spectrum. Because again, the Bank of Canada employee, like for the FBI to fucking arrest you, like a Bank of Canada employee, like, are you fucking insane? Like, oh my God. Humiliation, awful, disgusting. And so like, there's so many different things to look at. Like, we're such an embarrassment on the international forum in Canada. And a lot of it's coming out of Ontario, the capital region, but even like that teacher that had like the huge prosthetic breasts, people have lived such entitled, privileged lives that and the people that have never gotten fucked with, these are the people that are the ones that are canceling home insurance on people that live in rural areas, because they're like, oh, I want everyone to be carbon neutral and I'm doing my job and everyone needs to be in a city. Are you fucking mad? We are the ones that are filtering the fucking oxygen, the atmosphere, managing the fucking land in Canada, like, because of people like they're mass surging our fucking like cities and then overdeveloping suburbs, destroying people's lives, privacy, just all the trees in the area, all been fucking destroyed again for just short-term gain. Like, for, I just can't even, like, I talk about this all the time, but it's just and then people that are destroying these things, like the people that are shredding the trees, you're also not helping. So these leftists, so like these guys that are voting conservative, you know what I mean? And again, like drinking their Starbucks coffee on the way from work from their fucking suburbia, like lifestyles, and then destroying trees in areas, you know what I mean? And like, where they're needed. What's wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? You are destroying our fucking country and you should be building outward. Okay. When the entire population right now, allegedly, of the world could fit in the state of Texas comfortably on 1 acre of land like individually, and 95% of America is not inhabited by humans, you can move out, expand outwards. But again, that doesn't profit the people that are in the military, pharmaceutical, industrial complexes that are also controlling the education systems that just so happen to also be in the cities. And all these other things, like, they're not going to, it's just disgusting. But anyway, people need to expand outwards, grab a fucking couple acres, do your fucking part for humanity and make that fucking work. Manage that land, till it, grow shit on it, fucking make your animals graze the land and stuff like that, because reality check, it's fucking needed, or we're going to destroy ourselves from the inside out. We're already self-imploding. And before I even get into like the woke TikTok stuff, people were blaming the elite. People are saying, oh, the elite like pushed everything on us. And I'm like, the elite? I didn't get vaccinated. I spoke it at all levels of government. Health experts used my social media platform to show data, and still am, because I am in Canada. Because when I'm in Canada, 90% of people are vaccinated and refuse to admit it was a scam. They didn't die from the scam, luckily, but their ego is watching and knowing they're killing people daily with their blind obedience. I've been targeted mostly by men, and even for like that, like methylquin for the mass tort. Like, again, I said that I was a part of that like at least 2018 timeframe. And when COVID rolled out, I was saying like, fuck, like this is like, you know, like we need to get on this and push out this, like push this in the courts to like change the fucking policies, like before these like the vaccine rollouts. I'm on the record saying this, and I won't even give names and like unless it becomes required. But like lawyers, like part of the mass tort that Jeremy McKenzie was a part of as well. Just to give people some perspective on him as well. This was like pre-fucking COVID. Like, I will reiterate that we were part of the methylquin mass tort, not for money. It was to change policies. And again, I am on the record saying that, emailing the lawyer team and stuff like that. I put money down payment for a deposit, all of that stuff. Again, like I was doing my part, or, to try to help change fucking policies throughout. And I had guys literally part of the mass tort. And I can screen capture, I can share the messages that were threatening me, calling me a fucking idiot. Guys part of the mass tort. Again, like these guys that even have like their jump wings and stuff like that, like airborne regiment. And I'm like, cool, you're going to fucking threaten a woman. And I'm like, I'm trying to help. And like, do you not know that like you're part of this because of us being lied to about fucking methylquin? I'm like, do you think this is any fucking different? And anyways, and I had the same conversation with the fucking lawyer too. So again, I tried even before the vaccine rollout. I fucking tried. Even with the lawyer, literally, he like had flown from New York. I remember the fucking conversation, and this was before the rollout. I'm like, you like, and he's like, you need to fucking get it. He's like, I just got back from New York, and they're fucking saying it's so fuck. And I'm like, so and so. I almost said the name. I'm like, just hear me out. I'm like, just take a look at the data that I'm giving you. I gave him the fucking data, all of that stuff. I'm like, please look at it. I'm like, can you possibly consider? I'm like, just take a look at the methylquin mass tort. I'm like, this also, hear me out. I'm like, this also strengthens our case, right? All of the, like, the data that I'm sharing with you, the data that I'm giving you at risk to my fucking life, knowing that you're downtown Toronto too, your fucking office, and that's where a lot of these fucking elitists are, like the people that are controlling the narrative, like the extremists. That's where the policies are fucking, or the scripts are being pushed from on the legal side. Because again, like legally, like that's where people get you when they make things, when they criminalize people for speaking truth, or they, there's so many things I can talk about and unpack, but we're doing it to ourselves. And so like, these are grown ass men with airborne fucking wings threatening me, calling me a fucking idiot, all of this stuff, despite the fact that all I was doing was giving them data and just saying like, look, just hear me out. Like, and your brother, like he also had fucking vaccine side effects that he actually had to leave the army because of it. I'm like, do you not understand that maybe they don't have our fucking best interest at heart, like all the time? And I'm like, I'm not talking about everyone in the fucking medical system. You know, I was getting so frustrated. I'm like, there are some people that will exploit people, or they'll push something knowing that it's not good for you. And then there's also people that are heroes, and they're fucking warrior types, doctors too, right? That like save lives every day, doing fucking open heart surgery, saving people's lives from like fucking like life, you know, altering blood clots and like brain surgeries and stuff like that. Like these people, like these are people that are saving lives. These are people that are fucking like way more important fucking jobs, you know what I mean, than you, like me speaking about, like, you know, like on behalf of what they're doing, right? These people are on the fucking ground doing really fucking traumatic things on a regular basis to save people's lives. Okay, they're not the ones that are trying to dismantle the body. They're trying to build it back up. Like, I hope that makes sense. And same with nurses. Some nurses are pieces of shit, exploitative, you know, and these are generally also the ones, like, you know, these pop-up clinics that are popping up all over the US and Canada for these like gender reassignment, fucking gender affirming fucking clinics and stuff like that. These are the people that are cutting off peepees of children and the breasts and separating the milk ducts of children and giving beta blockers, hormone blockers to prepubescent children. Right. So these are not the fucking hero doctor types. They're the fucking weirdo ass predator types that are exploiting us. Okay. And they're the fucking ones, again, peacefully revoke their fucking licenses. Don't allow them to fucking operate or be around fucking people, investigate them for what they've already fucking done to a lot of fucking kids. Adults, again, that's your decision. Like, no offense. It is what it is, but for children, like that's, I don't feel like that's they're getting the informed consent. The brains are not even fully developed yet. And for any parents that brought their children in to get their peepees cut off and stuff like that, like I like you also, I'm like, I believe you need to be investigated. Absolutely, criminal charges laid. You know, we're doing that. We're doing this to people. We're breaking up homes for families that are not pushing the child abuse, you know, like they're not saying, like they're saying like, no, you're not a Ninja Turtle. No, you're not. You can't identify as a fucking cat. Like, no, you are not a fucking, you know what I mean? And by saying that, like, people's children have been taken away as well. And so like, again, this is all fucked up stuff. And like, we just need to have a little bit of a reality check and a sanity check in Ottawa, in Senate and cabinet, judicially, federally, like these people need to wake the fuck up because they're really not helping. And then again, like the guys that were like fucking harassing me in my backyard, like destroying the trees on a heritage site, destroying the fucking heritage site area, destroying people's privacy, all of this stuff. Like they were, again, like men, some of them had fucking beards and stuff like that. And they're wearing the Carhartt, but again, like walking from their fucking, with their coffees, sipping their Starbucks fucking coffees, going from suburbia or fucking downtown, destroying our fucking areas and then going back to, and so they're not helping. No offense. There are people like Mr. BDR, Mr. Freedom BDR, and like my brother-in-law, and like a lot of people in my family that are hard fucking workers. Again, they do construction, they do builds, they do inspections, they do electricity, they do waste removal, they do all like all the fucking hard stuff, like the drilling, the oil fields, like military, like law enforcement. You know, I have friends that like you know, really hard jobs, firefighters, fucking hard jobs, and they're trying to fucking help, and they're getting like penalized and stuff like that by anyway. So I just wanted to scroll through and just to show you just how fucking, and like, and people imply that I have thirst traps whenever I post a nice picture of myself, people imply it's a thirst trap, which is really annoying. when the majority of my fucking social media, first of all, this is my personal social media. This is my personal one. And I can put whatever I want on. And like, as soon as I put like a selfie up, people are like, I get so much hate. People are like, oh yeah, that's a thirst trap. But like, if you look at my, look at this picture here, people are like, yeah, there's a few comments and likes and stuff like that. But like, I get a lot of hate on it too. I had to delete comments. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem? There's the deer in my backyard that I feed, or in my yard. And are there any city dwellers or suburb dwellers like growing gardens or planting or managing land or helping raise animals or you know, or the wildlife? No. There's my doggy. He's so cute. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I want to scroll through because it's probably going to take me a while, but that's an old whiteboard. I want to show you last year that friggin' guy that tagged my home to try to incite murder on me. And these are the people that claim that they're the ones that are oppressed when you're free to do. Oh yeah. And by the way, billionaire nicknamed Canada's Jeffrey Epstein accused of horrific sex acts with minors. Robert Miller, electricity business. So again, there's ways that we can like manage electricity way better than we're doing right now. But this guy, they haven't upgraded the electricity grid in generations. And his convictions are like multiple accounts of pedophilia, actually fucking little children, multiple from all fucking age groups, very young as well. And again, like multiple accounts like where he's convicted and being investigated for. There's possibly a lot more that we're not aware of, right? And so like, this is what I mean. Like there's disgusting people like this, and he looks like a little fucking freak with huge shoulder pads, ruining our lives. And how many children and how many families has he destroyed by all that stuff? How many families? I don't know how long it's going to take me through, so I'm sorry. But yeah, people say I have a fucking thirst trap. Okay. This was what I was saying too about, this was in December of 2021, I believe is when I wrote this. So January Freedom Convoy, I was talking about the highway stuff. I said like we're a pressure cooker. I said that it was going to be here for 2 to 3 weeks. It was here for exactly 3 fucking weeks, just like called. And I said there was going to be an increase in groceries, gas, travel, more restrictions, question mark. I knew they were going to try to label unvaccinated people as terrorists. I fucking called it as well. I was talking about like a possible new variant by the fall or the spring, because again, it's fucking flu season period. Climate catastrophes. This was again, like 2020, December 2021. Enabled, exploited, question mark, civil war, unrest, Russia, good guy, question mark, laugh out loud. And then again, this was months before a war was declared. And so it's like, I'm not a fucking, anyway, China, Ukraine, I mentioned them. I said commies, Marxists. It's funny. I call these people commies, like sometimes, or Marxist, whatever, or extremists. Like, but like it's this has nothing to do with political parties. These people are just pushing a political agenda, but they're actually just extremists. People that were failed by their parents, by their education systems, by their teachers, by the people within their communities. And I'm sorry. And because of that, they're causing a lot of fucking harm in the world, and they need to heal, and they need to be away from people and investigated and arrested and all that stuff. I mentioned Kissinger and Soros even then. I said the long game. I talked about cover-ups and shit. Flat Earth. Antarctica. Fake alien invasion. Real. And when I say fake or real alien invasion, like nothing beyond the dome. This was me calling out Ben Shapiro. Again, like right from the fucking beginning. Like, let's see what date that was. October 14th. I think it was like the day after he posted bullshit. He's a bullshit fucking liar. Oh yeah. So the March for Freedom. So this was a counter protester. So this is what they fucking look like too. And look at this fucking flag and stuff like that. And this was during September, like the March for Freedom was like, there was people downtown, parents mostly, and people that were part of like the religious communities and the Amish communities that were just downtown peacefully protesting, like pushing like critical race theory, the woke stuff, all the extreme stuff within the education systems, like especially in Ontario, like with the guy with like the fake prosthetic breasts and like and so many things being pushed. Like people just wanted to speak out in a peaceful way about it. And then what happened? Ottawa, which is like 60% government, but like public workers that are not the first responder types, not the fucking ones that are helping outside of the area, right? And they looked like this. They got to take their Friday off from playing Spider Solitaire and ruining people's, like, they write policies and shit like that that ruin people's lives, and with the carbon scams tax and stuff like that as well. And then they come out and they shit on parents. So she's out there to shit on parents, and she was even like threatening and saying like, oh, there's other people coming, you'll find out. And the guy's like, what do you mean by that, you dumb fat morbidly obese fucking Karen bitch? Like, no offense, again, I get so fucking mad. And again, like, it's just like, who are you, lady, to fucking like scream and yell at Amish Christians, parents? And then, by the way, like, also fun fact that people that are voting left now, and are loving this immigration push. If you look at the countries, like I've said for years now, at where a lot of the mass immigration is coming from, they're focusing solely on people that they can exploit too, right? So like to get to like for work or for school, temporary work visas and stuff like that, and to like get them to like occupy homes that they want to push natural born Canadians out of and families out of, etc. There's financial incentive for that stuff, and they're not accepting of homosexualities as a lot of Canadians are and Americans. And so that's another thing, like you're voting for the parties like Democrat and Liberal, etc., that are pushing for all of it. Like look at Europe, look at the UK, look at Paris, look at fucking all these places where there's so much more crime. Women are getting gang raped, children are getting fucking gang raped and murdered. It's happening more and more in North America. And again, like it's leftists that are voting for this. And they're saying that conservative voters or Republican voters are the ones that are like homophobic and stuff like that, and like that we're like against homos. Like, are you fucking mad? We all got along fine until the mass surge of immigration happened, whether it be legally or illegally. I'm just talking about like there's people that are invading the fucking countries, okay, that they don't like any one of us, okay? And there are people again that are coming from countries where women are not considered equal either, and homosexuality people are stoned to death. They become acid burn victims. They're like all of this fucking stuff. Like you think that you are voting to help, but you're fucking not. And you're going after the people that are also trying to help you. So when you tag my home to get me killed, when I'm saying like, hey, like we need to fucking address this stuff because it's causing a lot of people to like be more extreme and retaliate and act out against groups, you're like, you don't realize that you're causing, like you're causing it as well. Just bear with me. I know it probably is fucking long for people who like to have their information straight. So yeah, this is my garden and stuff too. So again, I'm practicing what I preach. You know, I get the fuck out there and I see what's going on in the world, and people are judging me that have stayed in their fucking basement or in their home office their entire fucking life in a city, never traveled, and they want to educate me on the reality of the world. Okay, good luck with that. Oh, every time she talks. This is like over a year ago too. Christy Freeland. Mr. Speaker! Mr. Speaker! She's so annoying. Oh yeah, and then more shit. So they're getting people to commit arson, and they're also like committing arson, like spontaneous wildfires that happen kilometers away from each other, like well beyond like any distance where it would be like coordinated that effectively. And then blame it on a few people, like all these massive wildfires, and people causing fires. You dumb fucks! Like that wood that you're wasting, and that could be used for fuel for our homes, for us to burn. Okay, it takes a couple of acres from my home to fuel. If I wanted to use my fireplace, it would take a couple of acres of wood in order to heat my home for the entire winter. And there are people that don't even know what a cord of wood is, and this is what I mean. Like, I don't know how to fucking help people like this out. It's frustrating because I was born and raised in fucking, well, I was born in Quebec, but I was raised in the Gaspésie, and we had to go out and cut wood and chop wood and pile wood and carry wood into our fucking house every fucking night from like and so people don't understand that like all the waste, like these millions of acres of trees that they're just burning down, like to like prove a fucking stupid point. But like it's just so ridiculous to me. Like you and the shredding of the trees too that you're doing, like you are causing more harm to the world and all the animals you're killing too, and the soil you're killing. You'll never be able to make up for all the damage that you've done. They'll never be able to. Unless they fucking started now and just like planted trees and like moved out to like on a, you know, some acreage and spent the rest of their lives trying to fucking like live more organically. Yeah, it's a filter. Yeah, so again, like I've been at this shit for like a few years. I just want to show. Yeah, Dalai Lama, like getting a kid to suck his tongue. Like, this is what I mean. Like, this is not elites doing that. Like, this fucking kid has parents that failed him, first of all, and the kids that are getting their pee-pee fucking their circumcisions by men that are biting on their fucking pee-pees to do the circumcisions. You're the people that allowed that like that to happen. You also failed your kids. Just to be clear, they should sue. Like when he grows up, he should fucking sue. Like this kid, oh my goodness, like fucking sue, man. That's trauma. That's international. See, that's an owl that was at Sheila McKee that used to hang out with me and the dogs whenever we'd go walk on our hikes. I would do a call and it would come out and visit. Never when anyone else was out though. So like that's why I had to take a picture just to fucking prove that I was not lying about it. Black trucks blacked out that were like literally like within feet away from my home last year. This time like last year, just to intimidate me and stuff like that. No lives. Let's see here. We're getting closer to it. Yeah, this is all like just showing the times too, like all hours of the day and night. Let me know if I already passed over the boot print. Yeah, there's a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing. There we go. So this was on my back door. This says like W-I. I don't know what that letter is, but it was a W, and this looks like it might be an F or something. Anyway, with these kind of like spokes like on the heel. So like my home in Stittsville, like this is actually on the step right off of my patio. So this is like I had a small little fucking iron gate that everyone could see in, but within that someone went in my backyard on my like in my gate and on my step, which is right at my patio where my kitchen is, and I was able to take a picture before it melted. And what a fucking idiot. Looks like a small and large circular shower head. Okay, delete. That was not a fucking help. So if you're implying that like I'm making this up, like this is what I mean. People are fucking retarded. And that was like the only comment. It looks like a shower head. Okay, dummy. Yeah. What about this? You fucking dumb fuck. And again, like more prints here. So again, I don't know what this is, but it's a boot print or a shoe fucking print. And again, like it's obviously one where this is very unique of a pattern on a boot. Like I haven't seen this pattern before, so that's why I'm sharing this. And again, this is 57 weeks ago. And try to give that to cops too. They won't fucking do anything about that. I'm saying they're threatening me. They're like, look this little fucking gate here. Like the fucking meters away from my home. They were blasting, drilling, and they didn't put the fence up. See these posts here? That was there for over a year, and they didn't put the fence up to block our homes to give us privacy until 3 days before they left last end of March. They're so fucking disgusting. Yeah, that's possibly Brian Fox carrying that fucking flag, the fuck Trudeau, you know, the Nazi flag and stuff like that. Brian Fox, and it looks like, you know, let's ID these people, right? Like you can scroll in and save that and zoom in. Did I pass over it? I don't even know. Bear with me. Yeah, I've been posting for years. Oh, when was this taken? I think it was March of last year. So that was January. Okay, so I'm too far back. So I did pass over it. Damn it. case if anyone's watching, help me look for fucking. It's where Autumn Rain tried to tag my home. It was like right by my home, but like I said, like wrong post, dummy. Okay, so it was funny. I thought it was a funny reply back, even though I was scared. Obviously, this was a grown ass man. Again, like around the fucking same time as this. Trying to incite violence towards me. I'm like, that's awesome. I still do have it on my messages, so I might have to fucking go back in and screen capture. When was this? March 14th. So it might have been after that. I don't know. Let me see here. I'm sorry that I'm keeping everyone up. I'll keep looking for it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna like play the video, and then I'm gonna have to take a look for it. I might have to screen capture it, which is annoying. But I want to share Blair White because again, like I'm not like as right leaning or like again, I voted PPC last time just only because like he was going like his platform and what he was speaking out on, I thought was really important. So this is Blair White. I watched the whole thing. This is a trans woman. And again, I don't judge because like she's a fucking grown ass adult, not predatory, not doing anything to fuck with people's lives, and seems like a generally like a good person, and speaking out on insanity. So,
which I love. So first up, we have
Okay, now I have to take a look at it.
known as
Freaking
Rachel
that freaking
Dolezal
poster.
loses job over OnlyFans
blind?
account. Wow, Rachel. So if you don't know who she is, she made headlines a few years ago for being transracial, which is a touchy subject on a transgender bitch's podcast. I mean, bit touchy. It actually goes even deeper than her pretending to be Black or identifying as Black. She like lied about her heritage and said she was Black and scammed her way into teaching, I think, African American studies at a college, which that's trifling. You could have played it cute. You could have just been, you know, I don't know, a secretary, right? You could have been anything other than an African American studies teacher and had people looking at you like, wait, is she really Black?
Are you African American?
I don't understand the question.
Anyways, she got exposed, and I always wondered like what would happen to her now. I guess this is it. It's a bit bleak. Let's see that. Oh. Damn. She looks strong, right? I feel like she could beat my ass. So I might not, let me dial back how I'm talking about her because she might just come for me. Here's the thing. On a real tip, I don't know why there is this seemingly very common and strong link between OnlyFans creators and teachers. Like why there are so many teachers that get outed for having OnlyFans and doing porn on the internet. It's kind of like, what is the 1 + 1 = 2? What's the step 1 to step 2? Oh, I'm going to do porn and then I'm also going to on the side teach. I heard she was doing. Now this is a bit of a disgusting phrase here. Race play on her OnlyFans. What that would entail, I really don't know. I don't know if that like, does that mean you are role playing? I don't know. I'm not a hoe, so I couldn't, you know, begin to question. Here's the thing. People think that I judge OnlyFans and hoes and, you know, sex workers a lot. And it's kind of like, you know, I don't. Just a little bit, but not a lot, right? Like I believe you should be able to do that. However, once you pick that lane, you just have to be aware that it's not necessarily appropriate for you to jump into certain other lanes. mainly anything to do with kids, right? Like, I feel like porn stars of the past probably understood that because this is like a new phenomenon. People thinking that they can bust it open on OnlyFans and then bust books open with kids. Like, no, no, only one can be open. Bust open those books or bust open those legs. But once you pick your path,
I agree with this, and I will say this too for some women who were stay-at-home moms. Again, like I always wanted to be like a mother. I like all of that stuff. Like it didn't work out. Serial monogamous, not someone that's a whore, celibate for years. I said all the freaking time. I'm sorry for repeating that. I don't even know where I was going with that fucking point, but like it's just
that's your path. And I'm quite
that's your path, right? And so like you chose that path, and so like there are people that have been fucking people over that come from, they don't have like the bigger picture of reality, right? And so I'm just saying, like, if you're going to have a job, I think that people need to be hired based on qualifications and experience and skill sets, stuff like that, and not based on a quota or because they project themselves as being a victim, any of that stuff. Because it's really not helping. I don't know why I stopped it. Sorry.
asexual. So, I'm not a very sexual person. So maybe it's not coming from the right messenger here, but I do have to say, I feel like society is so overly sexualized and I'm sick of it. Like, I just, like, you have half of the population on goddamn OnlyFans, right? And it's talked about as if it's just this thing you can do, like, oh yeah, just whatever, side money. It's not side money. That's a whole decision. I had a friend who was considering doing OnlyFans and he was like, well, maybe I'll do OnlyFans and then also do this. I'm like, what do you mean?
One or the other.
You're either banging on camera on OnlyFans or you're like not. You can't expect to just go be getting regular jobs like that. And that's just, I'm sorry, that's just how it is. So I'm not against people running it up on OnlyFans and busting it wide open. However, I do suggest you have a little bit of realism for when you do bust those legs open. Y'all are so obsessed with normalizing this, normalize this, normalize that. Not everything has to be fucking normal. And also, something being abnormal doesn't mean it is bad, right? Like, an OnlyFans job does not have to be treated with the same level of respect and dignity as a teacher job. Sorry. It just isn't. Just like, honestly, my job doesn't have to be treated with the same respect as like a rocket scientist. I don't even know what the fuck a rocket scientist is. But I know it's a little more important than me running my mouth right here. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm on par or that I can just leap into that. And there is a certain place in society for hoes. Some hoes are ordained. Some hoes are ordained by God. And what I mean by that is clearly the path they were meant to take. Maybe they're a little nasty, and that's just the correct career decision for them, right? And for those people, I say, go do your big one. However, there is a certain amount of stigma that I think sometimes is warranted, right? Like, good example, I'm a fucking tranny. It should be normalized to the extent that you are not harassed and or hurt on the street. I should not be denied a job and or house. However, you can see what happens when something's too normalized, right? Like every 12-year-old thinks they can cut their dick off and like be okay with it. And parents are just so okay with it. Keep the kids' dicks on. And it's not that I'm some prude, but I do feel like society is just too sexualized in general. You got little kids singing, what's that song? Pussy pink, the butthole is brown.
My coochie pink, my booty hole brown.
Wow.
That's nasty.
Wow.
You got kids singing it. I don't want to live in a world where kids are singing about that. I just don't. I'm sorry. When I was a kid, I was singing Britney Spears. And like at least her shit, even when she was doing some hoe songs, they were innuendos. If you seek Amy. It wasn't just my butthole's brown. Ew. It's fucking disgusting. Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago hosts gay wedding. Wow. Moment of silence for all the people that are shocked. Okay, moment's over, because if you have even a remotely accurate grasp of who Trump is, this is not shocking at all, actually. The idea that Trump hates gay people, this has been one of my biggest pet peeves. See, y'all are so obsessed and y'all are so scripted, right? That you have a line when it comes to Trump. Well, I'm not voting for Trump because he's racist, xenophobic, homophobic, transphobic. Like, these are just like Pokemon gotta catch them all words for you stupid bitches. So you would just list all these things, whether they're accurate or not. And I don't really care. The argument that he hates gay people is what? Because he's the first Republican president to support gay marriage. He had a gay flag on stage. Bitch, I'm a whole tranny. I don't have a gay flag in my house. I don't. This is called an ally. Let me know when one of y'all hoes love gay people so much that you have a gay wedding in your house. Because I support gay marriage and God bless the gays, but stay out of my house. Don't come around here. No gay parties and or weddings in my house because I know how y'all get down. That debauchery, right? Like, I'm not cleaning up that mess. I'll attend and leave at a appropriate hour, probably around 11 p.m., right? I'm not making it to the AMs with y'all because I know how y'all party, but Trump said, come over. What a week. I mean, sweeping, clearing you hoes on Super Tuesday and having a gay wedding in his house. That's a lit week. And of course, some people, you know, some of the simpletons. Hi, simples. Hey, simples. Yeah, simples. I see you. Some of the simples, right, are probably going to be in the comment section saying, oh, this is just a publicity stunt. This is just to get the gay vote. Y'all really think he needs the gay vote? He'd probably prefer to have it, but to pretend as if it's a publicity stunt, I mean, not really. In fact, he's so standing on business as it relates to the gays. He's so on his ally shit for real that he's probably alienating more of the like older, very religious,
Yep.
conservative Christian Republicans
100%.
that don't like that he had a
100%.
gay wedding in his house. So he's taking a slight L for y'all. That's how much he fucks with y'all. And you're lucky he does. Because frankly, the LGBT community has weathered quite a bit of people. I'm quite weathered from y'all. Like, I love
Me too.
y'all, right? But sometimes I am trying to keep my distance.
Oh yes, I finally found it. God, it took me so friggin' long. For my own content, it takes me sometimes quite a bit because I have so much that I have had to put on my social media. Just literally just to have proof, have it on the record. So this was literally, it says bigot right here. And you can look at this. This was March 14th, 2023. So almost like over a year ago now. How fucking crazy is that? Tagged my home. And I said, wrong house, dummy. And then I said, like, this was my comment back, but this was a grown ass man that did it. His name was Autumn Rain. And from the Ottawa area. And I was also questioning after this, like I didn't post it, but to tag my home again, this is very close to my home. This was like literally the house next to my home. That's how close this guy got to my home, right? And my home was already being targeted by people, right? So like again, I had the trans community targeting my home. I had people that came here from other countries that tried to break into my home and circled my block on the 27th of September 2021. Okay, and did they want to rape me? Did they want to kill me? Did they want to? What the fuck? They rob me? What did they want to do? And why they have construction vests on? And again, this is on the record. I have the police report, everything I had to put in just to get this on the record. And then the guys on the construction site, which is not a construction site, it's destruction on a heritage site, destroying it. Those fuckers too weren't helping my life. Oh, and then there was also law enforcement at Huntmar and these fucking tag our destruction crew that were also having fun with explosions within meters of our homes as well. And these explosions, again, like this was not a fucking, this was huge safety issues. And I've again, infantry officer, my uncle, EOD, explosive ordnance and stuff like that, even in Afghanistan. I do training and coordination for people. There are bases and there are locations where you can do your explosive training. I've done mechanical and explosive breaching and fucking stuff like that in my career too. Again, so like if you want to do the training, instead of harassing people like me and torturing us, why don't you actually let us do our fucking jobs and you do your job and do it properly instead of harassing people. You don't have to go on a heritage site within meters of people's homes and blast. And I have videos of this, so it's proof. And Ottawa police people all over the fucking city doing it at blast sites. And again, not everyone. And there are law enforcement people that I love, respect, and admire, who are absolutely heroes and risk their lives on a daily basis and sacrifice a lot. But again, there's also shitty people who they also don't like that are causing a lot of issues in the fucking world. Okay. I will say that we are trying from within to unfuck this, but we got people like Justin Ling and his fucking boyfriend, and I mean that, right? Like there are groups that they're hanging out with, and all I'm saying is I'm not I'm not condemning. Well, I'm condemning criminality and pedophilia, absolutely, but like homosexuality, obviously not, right? But like you're excluding women for whatever reason out of a fucking conversation, and it's causing harm and death, and it needs to fucking stop. Peacefully, obviously, but it clearly needs to stop because it's fucking killing people, it's harming people, it's destroying our country, destroying the world. This is a contained environment that we have to manage and take care of way more appropriately, and we have people that are just not fucking getting it.
Quite a bit. Trump said, no, come in my house.
And you want to
I
help
mean, this
the
is
world?
really not.
All you fucking leftist soy boys and girls and shit like that, get out of the fucking suburbs and the cities and get out on a couple acres of land and then get your fucking fingers fucking dirty in the soil, just like me, okay? Like, again, I back up, like I'm walking the walk here, walking the talk, whatever you want to call it. And even like growing gardens and stuff like that. So like, instead of complaining and having your fucking vegan avocado toast, whatever, like the farmers are making for you, creating for you, growing for you, how about you help yourself a little bit, okay? And this carbon tax scam, that needs to fucking stop too, because you are harassing and torturing people. Okay, you're making people like commit suicide, have to move, and like you're ruining people's lives that can't afford it. The carbon tax, myself alone, hundreds of dollars extra a month because propane is the only way I can heat my home because I'm not allowed to use my fucking fireplace. That takes a couple of fucking trees a year to burn in the fireplace, and there you go. There's my fucking heating source. But no, dumb fucks like Steve Guilbeault and the countless fucking people that I've shared on this fucking site, this channel, like these are the people that are deciding that is the opposite of what is needed to happen.
Not very Hitler of him, right?
Stephen Guilbeault, can you please fucking call me and let's have a conversation? Like, I really wish these people would actually follow the fuck up with emails and phone calls. That's what all we're asking for.
This is not very
You want to stop the protests with the fucking farmers? Answer your fucking phones.
literally Hitler. Here's the thing. I understand not liking Trump. What I don't understand is hating Trump.
Yeah.
And let me break that down for y'all, because I know a lot of y'all are starting to spin by me even saying that. Because my head's not so deep in my own dirt, I do understand people who have different political opinions than me. And so when they look at Trump, they don't like him. What I don't understand is the hate. The hate. Because as far as I'm seeing, there's nothing
love
really
that video.
to hate.
Look at that.
About him. And when someone hates him, I know that it's usually
These are the men and women that are calling the shots. And these are the men and women that people are catering to and listening to instead of people like me and Blair. You know, there's no ego here. I just think it's fucking retarded.
almost always.
I said what I said, and I don't
because
care.
they've been brainwashed and some
And by retarded, I mean like there's like mental decline or incapacitation that's making these people like not aware of the reality of the world.
form or fashion.
Sorry,
9 times out of 10, the hoes that hate him are going to be the ones that say, oh, well, he made fun of a disabled reporter. It didn't happen. Oh, well, he said this about Charlottesville. Complete
Oh,
warping
nice.
of the fucking audio. Oh, he hates gay people. How? You can dislike the job he did as our
Mark Sargent again, a veteran and one of the OGs for the for getting flat Earth out there. And you got to be careful what you say, Mark, because like you talking about working out, like people are going to label you as a right-wing white supremacist, right? Like that's the fucking news nowadays. Remember, like can't say that stuff either.
president and that he's going to do again. However, to hate him is to really reveal that you've been, psyoped a bit, which is quite tragic. And we're going to try to wake you up. But let me know when one of y'all love gay people so much that you have a gay wedding in your house. In your house. Not just attend it, in your house, like Trump did. Then you're on the same level of fucking with the gays as Trump. And then next we have that karma that I promised you at the top of the episode. Fuzz99. Quite a stupid handle. Got fired. Woke teacher got fired. Finally, these busted, crusted, disgusted, nasty ass, like adult with a child's brain bitches are getting fired, which I've been saying needs to happen. How y'all keep hiring these woke ass teachers, I really don't know. But maybe people are starting to wake up. Fuzz 99. This is the most cringe.
Mm.
And when I say cringe, it's like they need to put this egghead motherfucker in the dictionary for cringe, right?
What are hormone blockers and how do they affect your body? Well, hormone blockers are a series of injections and or an implant that you can.
So that is a high school teacher. I just want to fucking say again, I'm not hating on the teachers either because I know teachers. My sister's a fucking teacher and she is going through so much stress, especially with like, she's a high school teacher too, but she's like in a place where it's called Shawbridge outside of Montreal. So if anyone is fucking familiar with Montreal, like that's where my fucking sister's teaching. And it's so dangerous. It's so violent and stuff like that. And it is what it is. But teachers are like all over the place are quitting. Okay. Because of people like this and not just this as well. But again, like parents are failing their fucking kids. Like, and I'm not even saying it's their fault. Like if you're a single mom and you try to fucking make it work and like you had a fucking like a guy that like just was not there. He didn't do what it took like to like help raise like your kids. I am so fucking sorry. I honestly am. That's awful. You know, and so I understand like it's just it's not entirely your fault. I get that.
In your arm.
That's why I try not to blame or judge.
Oh, what do you mean temporary?
But anyway, let's go back to the fucking high school teacher here.
Crusted, disgusted, nasty ass like adult with a child's brain bitches are getting fired, which I've been saying needs to happen. How y'all keep hiring these woke ass teachers, I really don't know. But maybe people are starting to wake up. Fuzz 99. This is the most cringe. And when I say cringe, it's like they need to put this egghead motherfucker in the dictionary for cringe, right?
What are hormone blockers and how do they affect your body? Well, I'm glad you asked. Hormone blockers are a series of injections and or an implant that you can have put in your arm that temporarily pauses puberty. Oh, what do you mean temporarily pauses puberty? For people assigned male at birth, puberty blockers will decrease facial hair and body hair growth. And
You notice her representation of someone that's asking questions. What do you mean beta blockers or whatever it was? Even the way that like the facial expressions and how they're like projecting people that are asking questions, they're demonizing, vilifying people that are asking genuine questions. And that's also like when they see that, they are not like their brains are not fully developed and like they're just trying to fucking figure out the world and make sense of the world. And yeah,
will limit eggplant growth.
limit eggplant growth. Talking about like you won't grow your penis.
For people assigned male at birth, puberty blockers will
Assigned
decrease
male at birth.
facial hair and body hair growth
Assigned anything
and
at
will
birth.
limit eggplant growth. And for people assigned female at birth, hormone blockers will prevent boobie growth and getting your period. No more periods.
Ooh. It's hard for me to even look at this motherfucker. I can't even look at him straight. Stay in my peripheral. Sir, ma'am, Miss Pam. I would rather shit on my hands and clap than watch a full video from this egghead motherfucker. I really would. This rainbow Nazi, right, got up on camera and completely lied about why he was fired. Is it he or she? I really don't know. Because it's giving nothing. It's actually giving nothing at all. And so you have to wonder, like, if it's giving
There's no
nothing.
substance. Read a book.
It's just giving dweeb. It's giving dork. It's giving loser. Loser, you got fired. Hey. Oh my God. I never really laugh at people's downfall, but I'm just feeling a bit sick today.
Pretty sad.
And I might do that, right? So before we watch this video of lies, Manelli, We're going to just say a few things up front. He's lying about why he got fired. So he says he got fired because he's queer. Oh, he got fired because he's queer. What he really got fired for was having thirst traps as a teacher, posting thirst traps.
No.
Why y'all feel the need to be hoes and teachers at the same damn time? Pick a lane. You can pick genders, but you can't pick lanes. Like, pick a fucking lane and stay in it. So let's watch this sob story.
I was recently hate crimed for being queer. And as a result of me being
hate crimed. I had a fucking trans woman, a grown ass man that did not look like a fucking woman. Like there was no passing. No offense, Blair passes. Blair looks gorgeous. Didn't pass. Targeted, tagged my fucking home during the same fucking period. Again, like there was like a trans person that committed a mass shooting against religious people and children, teachers and children in a religious school. And I would consider that to be a hate crime. And did anyone do anything about that? Has anyone ever said anything? No. Did anyone even fucking care? No, they didn't.
crimes for being queer. It ultimately led to me being fired from my job as a high school substitute.
The audacity of this bitch. The audacity of this bitch to say he was hate crimes. You're Matthew Shepard now? You're the mother, you're the victim. You're Matthew Shepard now. You got fucking hate crime. Getting fired is being hate crimes now, apparently. Yeah. No. One of the things, I don't know if y'all pick up on this. One of the things I hate most about modern life is how many people talk like they're an algorithm. I was recently hate crime from my job for being queer. And as a result of me being hate crimed because I was queer, bitch, you already said that. You're just really trying to hit that algorithm so hard, right? Like, if y'all don't start talking like you're human, my God.
I hate making content like
fake
this.
Bitch.
I love making people laugh and smile and forget about.
You hate playing the victim? It's your favorite thing, baby girl.
And you weren't hanging out with any adults.
Baby, that's your favorite thing. That's the role you know the best.
I love helping people feel comfortable in their bodies and always preach that there's nothing ever wrong with being you. And
comfortable is the last word I would describe anyone who watches this Eggheads content. You feel comfortable watching this? Because I'm a bit shook.
Right now in America, queer teachers are under attack and are constantly being targeted and kicked out of the classrooms for being who they are and for helping students feel welcome.
Right now in America, correction, kids are under attack by queer teachers. Actually, you got it backwards. You're quite backwards. You're quite crooked.
And I was being targeted by hateful extremist groups and really blew up online.
Hateful extremists. And the caption is, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
The barometer for hate that y'all eggheads have. If I had written that caption talking about you, it would have been a lot harsher than what did I just watch? Because I know what I just watched.
Tagged? Probably not.
A weird ass psychopath.
Don't do that. Don't tag this person.
You're the type of motherfucker who is a laugh away from a tear. You're the type of motherfucker that you're going to wake up, say this is a knife. He will just be at the end of your bed one night. And if you have shit to say about it, it's because he's queer. If you kick him out of your house after he tries to kill the environment for children, you shouldn't be there at all, right? Maybe that was justification enough for your ass to be fired. But probably not.
The freshmen had a very hard time adjusting to the fact I worked at that school and freaked out on the daily because I worked at.
Maybe if you're disrupting the learning environment for children, you shouldn't be there at all, right? Maybe that was justification enough for your ass to be fired. But no, as you're going to see, he was fired for thirst traps. Because you just got to bust it open as a teacher, apparently. That's just part of the gig now. Hey, Rachel Dolezal. Hey, Fuzz99.
I got a gut-sinking feeling in my stomach and realized something more serious was going on, and I had no clue what it was. When I walked into the meeting, my HR manager asked me if I knew why I was here. I said I had no idea, besides wanting to talk about my social media posts. They then pulled out a yellow folder and slid 2 screenshots of 2 thirst traps across the table to me. And I was just like, oh my God.
And you think that that's okay. I mean, I've always known that this LGBT shit is often just used as scapegoats for basic bitches, right? So the scapegoat is that you were queer bashed, you were hate crimed because you're Matthew Shepard, but in reality, it's because you were being a little nasty. As if, who exactly are you trapping? Who exactly is feeling thirsty by anything you post? That's your biggest L right there. You think getting hate crimed is your L. You think getting fired is your L. No, posting those damn thirst traps. Whoever saw those got hate crimed, baby. Not you. Again, I would rather shit on my hands and clap than see those. And frankly, a motherfucker like this shouldn't be working with kids. Like, he did a whole TikTok about how being straight is somehow bad. Nobody wants to be straight. How dare you, bitch? How dare you, bitch? See, people like this think that their hate can only go one way. They think that they can dish it out, but they can't take it. But this is
100%.
A recent trend.
I love this point. I actually missed that point last time. They think they have full immunity. I'm not saying they, as in the LGBTQ plus community. I'm saying there are people within that community that are exploiting it, that are predators, and they don't care about anything else except for fucking exploiting people. And I hope that makes sense. And they're the ones that are the extremists, right? Like, it's like rules for thee, not for me. And they're the ones that are literally like, I don't give a shit if like that person dies, right? Like, if they say anything to offend me, they deserve it. I know countless like people that are in homosexual relationships, male and female, married, and not married, but like really good people, amazing fucking people, and they're not pushing any of this stuff. And they also troll and share stuff like this with me, and they're just like, oh my God, again, like I fucking, like, these people are making it so fucking bad for the community. And that's why I'm sharing Blair White talk about this, right? Because she's trans. I know people that are trans too, that I have fully supported in their transition as adults, and even gave them diet and training plans because the transition was from woman to man. And I also gave their job in the security industry when no one fucking else would. I did. And even after that, tried to claim that I was biased and stuff like that because of what I post and stuff like that. I'm like, I got you your fucking job. I'm like, this is about the kids, what I post. Wake the fuck up. And I'm like, you know me. I got you your job. You like, oh my God, they were a delivery driver for a fucking pizza place, part-time, and I literally set their career up and then fucked over afterwards. Like, this is what I mean. Like, you can help so many people out. That's why when Zachary Hubbard talks about like he's helped a lot of people that have fucked him over afterwards. Like, I tried to like destroy his life, and you did nothing fucking wrong but try to help these people. It's so infuriating. Like, but
With
it doesn't make you want to stop helping other people. It just makes us, unfortunately, more fucking traumatized.
hoes getting fired, thank God. Non-binary Alaska teacher Fletcher.
Sorry. Jesus.
That's your name? Anyways, is suspended from Diamond High School after Libs of TikTok exposed them for wearing tight dresses to school that displayed outline of male genitals. Now, this video is straight up you moose knuckling it about 4 feet from a child's head. You belong in prison, baby. You're lucky you were just fired, Fletcher. Your ass should have been in jail. And you can just tell, like, some of y'all just need to believe your eyes sometimes. Like, look at this picture. You want to tell me that this person wouldn't do exactly what he then did, and that you couldn't see that by looking at him? I don't get it. Some of y'all never really been through shit. And how trusting you are really shows that. Like, I would clock this nasty ass from a few miles away and be like, don't come near me. Stay away. Definitely don't come near kids. And yet somehow these people keep getting fired. Some of y'all just never been through shit. It is so clear that the issue isn't even with teachers being queer. Well, that's an issue, honestly. Stop fucking calling yourselves queer. That's annoying. It's embarrassing. It's tragic. But if you're, gay or transgender, the actual phrases for these things, like, the issue isn't even with you being those things as a teacher. It's so clearly an issue with the fact that leftists in general have gotten to a point where they have no course correction on the radicals. And there's just so many radicals that the average, like, leftist teacher is going to want to indoctrinate people, not just teach them or even have a bias. Like they go into this shit trying to groom people, trying to groom students. That is the issue.
Hi, I'm a queer teacher. Kids as young as 3 and 4 are actually aware of their gender identity. even if they
Oh
don't have
my
names for it.
God,
They're
they're
very
nuts.
aware
You're
of who they
crazy.
like and who they don't like. They're very much ready for these topics and are way more accepting than adults when it comes to discussing these topics.
Because they're
We can talk about gender
Kids.
assumptions, pronouns, all the things.
It's not that you have your own beliefs. I'm sure there are many, you know, in red states, conservative teachers who make it a point to
These are
try to
kids.
push their politics on people, but never to the point where it's like, oh, I'm pushing you to cut your dick off, right? A conservative
This
teacher
is the thing. Like there are also people that should be red flags, and I mean no offense. I'm just saying, like, look at this in your own life. If you can only get along with children, and you're an adult, maybe think about that. If you don't have any adult relationships, why? Ask yourself why. Are you me? Are you a truth seeker in Ottawa and like talking against the shit that other people are saying? That seems to be the majority. Probably not. Oh my God.
trying to push their politics on you is like, hey, like we probably shouldn't pay taxes. Hey, like we probably shouldn't let everyone and anyone over the border. And y'all are like, hey, you should like cut off your breath and like take hormones. It's really not the same level of indoctrination. I'm sorry to tell you. Like politics don't have any place in the classroom, but at the end of the day, even if they do seep in, there should be a baseline level of like expectation that the politics that do seep in don't involve like dismembering children, right? Like Jeffrey Dahmer doesn't need representation in kids' classrooms. Sorry to say. See, here's the thing. If you're conservative, right-wing, Republican, whatever, you'll get fired just for breathing that you like Trump, right? Like you could be under your breath, hush, hush, like it is just known that you're a Trump supporter, fired, right? Whereas if you're a leftist and get hired and include your politics in that job, you can be straight up grooming kids for years without any consequences. That one teacher in Canada, the big boob, never got fired. I think he quit, and that was sick. And what was even sicker was that y'all were laughing at that.
I wasn't.
People were laughing at it because it was so
I was
goofy. And
not
like,
there.
again, a lot of y'all haven't
I
been through
shared
shit. You
that.
can't recognize perverts when you see a pervert. So for me, I'm like, he's acting out a fetish in front of kids. And even right-wing people were like, oh my God, this is so funny. I think he's like making a joke out of it to prove the woke shit's stupid.
Even the teacher that you just saw, like he was a man wearing tight dresses with an erection, and he was making kids uncomfortable with how close he was to kids and stuff like that. Anyone that thinks that's okay, like, has not been through shit. I have been. That's why I talk about this is uncomfortable stuff, but this is the reality for women in a lot of places. They just don't talk about it. I have been raped. I have been stalked. I have been harassed. I have been like fucked over, you know, like, and et cetera. Right. And so, and by people that I thought I could trust. Okay. That I should have been able to fucking trust. Okay. But that's the reality of the fucking world. And in the lion's den, okay, no one is going to come and fucking save you with the entitlement of people and stuff like that. But like when you expose children to predators, and people like me know predators because we've experienced fucking predators. Like when people are I'm like, I get so pissed off at this. The fucking nerve, the nerve to allow people in that could possibly rape and murder women and children and elderly and stuff like that. And by the way, even violent crimes where elderly people on public transit are getting the shit kicked out of them by people. You know what I'm talking about when I say fucking people, okay? So I don't even have to say it, but again, it's unfortunately just a fact. For their purses, for their wallets, they're getting like and scams. Even in rural areas in Canada, there are people that are going door to door and taking over the titles without elderly people knowing about this of their farms and their lands. Especially with the mortgage rate increases and stuff like that, they just can't afford it because they're on fixed fucking income. And then as soon as it's fucking all taken over, they can't afford it. They're elderly people are getting kicked out of their homes in Canada. And like conservative and liberal political leaders, like they're not really tracking a lot of fucking stuff like they should be, or calling out this stuff like they should be.
Y'all are stupid.
Why the fuck does he need nipples like that are erect like that? Why does he need to have like areolas? And this is, again, the way they project women, it's as if we're all whores and OnlyFans members and porn stars. Like the blonde, long fucking like wig, the big breasts and stuff like that. Like all he just thinks of women as sexual objects. That's it. not for families, not like anything else beyond fucking. It's unfortunate.
All y'all are stupid. Sometimes sometimes I literally get down about how like everyone's fucking stupid. Except for me. Does your pet identify as trans? Wow. I hate this for me. I hate that I have to read this. I want to die. Apparently, I regret to inform you that this is real. I regret to inform you there are some of y'all who really think this. Does this look like a trans dog to you? This is a straight woman of God. And she's going to heaven.
Cute.
Unlike y'all. Look at this form to get a new kitten that people are starting to get. You have to put in a gender identity for a kitten that you want to adopt. It has male, female.
So this is the friggin'
Because
person
if I fix it, I'm going to jail.
who flashed.
I'm going to jail. Like just when I thought this bobblehead couldn't get
At the
any
White
more
House.
stupid, here it is. Here's the moment. It's your moment. You're shining. You somehow doubled down on that stupid shit.
What makes no sense to me is how people care more about respecting the gender of my dog than they do myself and other transgender individuals.
I don't give a shit about the gender of your dog either.
To treat people like you would treat a dog.
Treat people like you would treat a dog. Tell me you have no goddamn self-respect without telling me you have no goddamn self-respect. I mean, you are quite filthy. No. I'm just wondering when this shit is going to hit a fever pitch. Like, when are people going to be just so sick? And how bad does it have to get before y'all turn people off so bad that there is just no redemption ever? That y'all have to go live in the shadows or some shit because y'all have exhausted people's tolerance of trans people so hard. It's like you're fucking with women, you're fucking with kids. And now, innovator. What an innovator. Now we got to fuck with dogs and pets. It's just like,
Yeah.
if I have some advice for Rose Montoya, it's pick a gutter. Any gutter. Fall out of public life. Fall out of the public eye. You humiliated yourself. You humiliated the entire trans community. Taking your fucking top off at the White House. I mean, that's just humiliating, embarrassing, tragic, disgusting, out of line, like off the wall, like sick.
Yeah, that's what
You
you're
were blessed
representing.
with
Like,
the honor of
there are
representing.
people in the trans community and in the I'll say the LGBT, whatever you want to call it, community. They are not for the fucking child stuff, and they're not for this. They're not. They're not for the fetish stuff. They're not for the nudity at pride parades and the diapers and dressing up like fucking infants. Like, there's a lot of people in the LGBT community that are not for it. And
trans people in a
Like,
potentially
why?
positive light, and you took your fucking top off. And this is your sequel?
gross.
This is your sequel. Hey guys,
A
I'm the
man
one
showing his
that
breast
took my
like
top off and embarrassed the trans community. Well, guess what? Sequel, we're now transing our dogs. Like,
Yeah.
you need help immediately.
Oh yeah, here's the next one.
Now, yesterday. Someone should have helped your ass out yesterday. All right, let's react to some woke TikToks.
Being misgendered can be an incredibly painful experience.
Hi, my name is Tempest. And if you don't want me to step on your toes, move your fucking feet.
Tempest, I mean, settle down.
Oh my god.
This is the
Y'all
false
swear you live in an anime.
entitlement as well. Like, there are people like this, like that I'll see that will stare me down and stuff like that. And in my head, I'm just like, oh my god, like, you are so like entitled. And I'm like, I'm a use of force instructor, 15 years infantry officer, the first female in the history of the fucking regiment. You know, like I teach like baton training, handcuffing. Yeah, I have advanced firearms training, and I teach it. Advanced unarmed combat, advanced, like, you friggin' name it. And I'm like, and I still, like, again, like I am like the weaker sex. You know, I will readily admit that. And I'm not out doing crazy things like, or saying crazy shit like that. Like, she's fucking crazy. And this is what I mean. She has no, I mean, does she have the abilities to back up what she's saying? Right? Does she have the abilities? I'm just saying, I hope so, because like if you're all talking, no action, I'm just so fucking sick of these people, man.
Tempest.
It's not a terrible name. It's not a
See,
terrible name.
what y'all don't talk enough about is these trans guys, right? That don't actually transition, but these trans men, they literally just watch like gay anime and they construct their idea of manhood. That's how absent men are right now in the family unit, that their idea of manhood is the gay anime they watch. Tempest. Girl, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, maybe especially with the lack of the male presence. That is a good point. Like, that's the future president, you know.
I want to die.
That's the future prime minister of Canada.
Sometimes I feel like I really did die. Like I was thinking about this the other night when I was a little bit, right? What if I died? What if we all died? We're literally in purgatory.
Like my mom would have fucking put me on her knee so fast and just I don't, you know, like what, like I don't know. I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm just saying I would have got my ass whooped.
I think this is how he
doing
would
this in public to embarrass her. Oh my god! Especially if this was Gaspé. It's such a oh my god. We come from a small town. Oh my god. I wore lipstick when I was 13 once. Again, I was a rebel, like away from my mother and stuff like that. But like before I even walked from like the third range to like the main road, I had lipstick on at 13. Like my mother was fucking called, and she like was like on the road to collect me. I was walking to the fairground. I was gonna go to the fair looking all cute at 13 years. What the fuck am I thinking? Again, I don't know things, right? But like my mother realizes the dangers of that stuff. And anyway,
if you get it, you get it. When you know, you know.
I'm tired of white cis women being more dedicated to being called a healer than actually doing the work to be a healer. The only thing.
So I think this is a man, and the title is "Nice White Women Are Just Abusers," and I take offense to that.
Be this fucking nasty. And one thing about it, I know I want to talk as a tranny, but I am so glad that I have felt the feeling of getting cracked in my face as a kid. Not promoting that towards this individual. Yeah. However, let's just say if in a different timeline, this individual had ever felt what it's like to have someone hit you in the face.
Like everyone's saying the same thing now, like Candace Owens, Joe Rogan. I'm just saying, like, like a lot of like the bigger names are now finally saying like on screen. I think Dr. Phil too and other people. Again, not condoning abuse and stuff like that, but discipline is so friggin' lacking. You know, and if it means like taking a fucking kid having a crazy insane tantrum, if it means like spanking the butt to get them to not be deviants in society and act out in society as adults and commit crimes or prey on other people, right? Then like you got to consider, you know, like even in the animal species, right? There are animals like they correct the behaviors, antisocial behaviors of their young. And it's a community, it's collectively like within that, when they act out or they're overly aggressive and stuff like that, it's corrected. Or they're outcast.
As a child or whatever, talking about, you know, fights in school, whatever. I don't think this is how he would end up. If you get it, you get it. When you know, you know.
Tired of white cis women being more dedicated to being called a healer than actually doing the work to be a healer. The only thing that you're worried about healing is your bruised ego.
So you're tired. Imagine how tired we are. Exhausted. This looks exhausting. This is just misery. Misery is all I see.
We get it. You hate women.
Weathered.
We get it.
She's wilted.
You hate your mother.
I'm actually starting to feel bad for her.
You hate yourself. You
I
hate
am.
Your mother, whatever.
Being confronted with your complacency in genocide and your obsession with upholding privilege. We do not need more nice white women. Are you kidding me? And stop asking marginalized people to do the work for you because you don't feel comfortable with it.
What are you even talking about? What language is this?
I don't know, Blair.
What fucking language is this, sis?
I don't know, Blair. I don't know.
My God.
I know you.
Somebody get this bitch as annex. A little CBD. We'll even take some ashwagandha on deck. Like, she needs something. She needs something. People like this will never realize that they are the ones that perpetuate the hate they claim to be fighting. You have become the monster you are claiming to fight. I have never seen a more hateful person. People like this will also never understand that they are just doing a different version of that KKK mother.
And people like this are refusing or declining insurance, declining mortgages, declining jobs to nice white women because they hate us.
Fucker, you have found a group to blame. You have found a group to hate, which is nice women.
Small-
And the
small
saddest
group.
part is that your justification for it is that they're nice. And that has led you to, you guys need to stop being nice. Bitch, you need a drop of that niceness, because let's not forget, it's still giving white woman. It's still giving white woman. The white woman jumped out and they just jump back in, because also ain't no man talking like this. And the reason why this person hates white women so much is because that's what you're running from. There's a white woman inside of you and you're running. There's absolutely a Karen living up in that bitch and you're running. She's a runner. She's a track star from that white woman living inside of her. I can't help but note that part of the, characteristics of people who, when I look at them, I don't see a trans person usually on that lineup is that they're running from the hate, whatever they're transitioning from. Like all these trans women and trans people who just hate men.
There is a massive train system failure in Northampton, London. And this is from someone that I think he's in the UK right now. So I think this is actually in London. It's interesting because today is St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick was from UK. He was kidnapped from Irish people and Scottish people and sent to Ireland, I believe it was. And for some reason, we celebrate St. Patrick's Day. And a lot of Irish people do, even people in my family. And I'm like, why? Why? And he was like the regimental birthday as well. I'm like, is it because of the 7-11 and the 11-17? And so anyways, massive train failures, disruptions and stuff like that. Like my friend wants to get into the city and he's not able to because of the train fucking whatever. And I just made a comment like, maybe don't go. Right. And he's there for like a big event, a bodybuilding event. And it's unfortunate because he's a pro. Like this is his job. Like, fuck, like, oh, I just hope he's safe. Fucking man. Like I just get so fucking stressed out because he's from Quebec too. Le Québec et pas français aussi. Yeah. Anyways, that's good. I hope he's safe. I hope it's all like nothing. I just get a little stressed, but that's just
trans men who just hate white women. It's like, bitch, I don't hate men. I love men. Right? Just because I was
a lot of people are saying that.
What that is, right? Like it just wasn't right for me. Like you are clearly running from that white woman. What you need to do is take a nice, long, warm shower, go sit in front of that mirror and hug that white woman inside of you. Say, white woman, it's okay. We're going to be okay. But calm the fuck down because you're stressing me out. Oh, here's this trick.
Today's pronouns of the day are TV static. Okay.
And again, like she's trying to sound like a child. Like she looks like she's an adult. Like she might be an adult, but why? Like what's with the freaking baby voices and stuff like that too?
Now you must be like, what in the world is this person talking about? What? TV static pronouns? Well, yes, these are actually neo pronouns. So here's how you would use TVs, and here's how you would use statics. It's just like if someone were to use he, they, or she, they, you use both she, her pronouns and they, them pronouns. So it's just the same kind of thing, just with two neo pronouns. Why would someone want to use this? Sometimes neo pronouns can represent how a person is feeling, maybe within gender, because gender doesn't feel good to everybody out in this world. So maybe their gender feels like static. Maybe it's because someone's feeling stuck. Maybe because they can't feel like they can open up to people and come out to people. And you never know.
And maybe people who feel that way should be helped out of that, not encouraged to identify as static, right? Right? Y'all are so fucking diseased for letting this little girl run amok like this. Where are the real ass people in this fucking community? I know there's a few others besides me, but goddamn, are we that outnumbered that she is not just getting dragged off the internet by actual trans people, actual gay people, actual whatever? Bring back hobbies. This little girl needs to go create some art or something, because creating shit on TikTok is just not the best use of your time, baby girl. Like, I don't even know what to say. And here's the gag of it, right? If you're a loser, you look at content like this and be like, well, doesn't affect me. Well, if people want to do what they want to do, I don't know. Well, you know what? I agree people should do what they want to do. But when you're spreading this kind of bullshit and you're making it some sort of declaration within the trans community, somehow conflating this with being trans, that's when I have an issue. I have an issue, baby, with you. So tell me how we somehow lost the last 20 minutes of footage of this episode and how it was only noticed the next day. I had the option to say the boys and girls, which is the funniest word because if it's so small, that you have to refer to it as micro, right? So tell me how we somehow lost the last 20 minutes of footage of this episode and how it was only noticed the next day. I had the option to say the boys and girls of the Blair White Army are only getting a 40-minute episode this week, but I'm not going to do that to y'all. I'm not going to do y'all dirty like that. So we're just going to keep going and act like, nothing ever happened. This is Danny Lalanders, a non-binary game developer for EA, specifically the Marvel games, which
game developer.
Marvel's pretty.
Like, why don't you go out just like I'm doing, okay, and help the environment, grow a fucking garden, raise a family, like I don't know.
Out now, were they always woked out? I don't think so, right? They just hopped on the train.
No hate, but if you're gonna hate,
to hell. So she says she doesn't hire white people because they're unsafe and it's hard to work with them, and only hires people of color.
Whatever,
Let's listen to her babble.
I didn't even care about that.
I have a team of 21 right now for Validate. It's a pretty big team. It's a crazy big team. We have no white people on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment. And I know the best way for an environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me. And I'm not saying that white people in the industry are creating unsafe environments. I'm not saying that. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying that sometimes it is hard to work with white people because they think that something may be okay, but it was really a microaggression. And no one wants to deal with that while they're trying to make a game that they love.
Yeah, like this. This is a microaggression.
I was gonna say raise this bitch, but who created this bitch? Because
this face I do with everyone, right? So this is not at any specific fucking race, religion, ideology, fucking language, like none of that stuff. Like I do this microaggression. Like my sister hates it. Like I'll talk about my sister, but I can't help it. I can't help it. And I don't give a shit if people want to have communities and do their own thing or work in it, like where, it's like their own group. Like, again, that's not my friggin' business. I'm more libertarian that way. But like, if you're going to be on social media and like broadcast like that, you're going to say that it's because it's a safer environment that way. That's fucking rude. That's implying that I'm not safe. And I wholly reject that notion because it's not true. And I prove that on a regular basis. And microaggressions, like lady again with the entitlement. If a fucking microaggression is the worst thing that you have to fucking worry about in your day, I wish I had that luxury. Like that must be fucking nice. When again, like even with my home insurance getting fucking canceled, I might be homeless in the next 3 weeks unless I find insurance. All of this stuff, I'm doing this alone, lady. Again, when people have real fucking problems, and during this time too, do I plant seeds? Do I not plant seeds? Like what? Like to harvest food for the year. Because like, again, if I grow that's a lot of fucking work for me to like prepare and plant like the garden beds again, like redo the fucking soil, all of that stuff, maintain and manage the fucking lawn after the winter months. It's a lot of yard work to do during this period as well. And like I get people complaining to me that work in fucking office and Starbucks, Justin Ling types that are just like so retarded. I just can't.
Because this is a person made in a lab. How are you a real person? It's unsafe around white people because they might commit a microaggression, which is the funniest word because if you expect, or at least I would expect, because again, when you're ahead of the curve, you can just see train wrecks coming, and this is a train wreck.
Hi, I'm Davey, and this is Maxine, and we have been driving with Lyft for over 6 years.
You just named your car? That is the manliest thing you could have done. Start out the video. This is Maxine. Wow. The man really jumped out and then he jumped back in.
And Maxine and I are getting ready to go out driving tonight, but we're going to try something new for the first time in those 6 years. We're going to turn on the Women Plus Connect feature.
That's the thing too. Like when you personalize or when you name objects, more men do that than women too. This is just an observation. That's why, like also like with like the replacement of women with AI, the replacement of women with porn, the replacement of people with Tinder, the replacement of people with inanimate objects, these friggin' like robots, like these sex robots and stuff like that. It's I think that these seeds have been planted now for a while as well, trying to make it where, again, like just more incentive and or more things to distract men from actually being with a fucking woman, like an alpha man, especially. And it's funny too, because there's men and there's trans women, so men that are identifying as women that like that they're not pulling it off at all. Like, no offense, and oh fuck, I keep on forgetting my train of thought with this, but anyway.
Women Plus Connect is a feature that matches women and non-binary drivers with more women and non-binary riders.
Yeah, he's saying women and non-binary. Like, again, it's just because he wants to have more women.
Plus Connect gives women and non-binary drivers the option to
Oh yeah, sorry. So these trans people that are acting very hyper feminine, they're saying, where are all the real men at? And we're like, bitch, you are the fucking man. You know what I mean? You are a walking fucking hypocrite stereotype. Like, no offense. Like, you are saying you want a real man. Like, I have a grown-ass man wearing lipstick and his hair is fucking like in a ponytail and he's wearing a fucking tight dress. And he's literally complaining because he's saying that like men aren't like a real men anymore. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what? And then even, again, don't even get me started with Christians. Oh my God, because also Christians can be fucking crazy if you want me to just hate on whatever. Again, the extremists, the people that believe that Jesus Christ was a literal being. Like from the Bible, I'm talking about that's a representation of the Son, and they want me dead. They're like, they call me a devil. They say that I'm all of this stuff. I'm Satan reincarnated. I explain to them what I believe like Satan to be, just a representation of Saturn as it rules over Capricorn and Aquarius during the winter fucking months, and they can't grasp that either. And then they're also globe earthers. So you got Christians that are hardcore globe earthers and believe that Jesus Christ from the Bible is, a real fucking man, that, and again, I'm not saying there couldn't have been a possible Jesus and a man named Jesus Christ that walked the earth, but I'm just saying in the Bible, like these characters, these are allegorical figures. This is astrotheosophy, very clear to me. I've explained this. When I try to explain this to people like that, the diehard Christians that like roll their eyes and say like, oh, see you in, like, you're going to be in hell and all this other stuff. They're not understanding that they're also walking hypocrites. Right? Like, you're a fucking walking hypocrite. And so like you're wishing ill will on me and eternal damnation. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's pretty extreme. Yet like you are completely like dismissing so much of your Bible. Like, I have the King James version of the Bible right beside me right now. I have the Quran. I have countless other religious texts. And people that don't even know their own Bibles will fight me to the death. And it's insane.
On a preference that will prioritize matches with other nearby women and non-binary riders. Women Plus Connect first launched in September of last year in select early access cities, but now they're expanding it nationwide. I'm so excited. This feature offers more control over the driving experience for women and non-binary people, allowing them to feel more confident in the car. All right, time to get driving.
Imagine he just hit somebody before the camera goes off. Fools of Caitlyn. Sorry, Kate. Listen, why can't it just be a woman connect? Like, why is it women and non-binary? Like, is there an option for a woman to just connect with women drivers? Or I guess that would be a problem because then y'all want to confirm that they're women. This is sick. And listen, what exactly makes you a safer option for women to be in the presence of? Because the Party City wig isn't really feeling that safe to me. If that's the one thing, oh no, this isn't a man picking you up. It's a man in a wig. Like, I don't understand. I really don't understand. And I always say this, the biggest disconnect with me and all these trans people, you know how trans just means Party City wig now, right? The biggest disconnect is like, they never have the respect and understanding of women's safety, right? They have no actual understanding, because I would feel so incredibly unsafe being in the car with this person. And I am not a biological woman. I would feel incredibly unsafe. And considering the entire process here for you to signing up for the non-binary woman connect feature on this app, right, is putting the wig on. What about that is safer? Like, someone can't harm a woman if they're wearing a wig? Is that really how y'all think? I genuinely think it is. I genuinely think that y'all again, I was talking earlier in the show how about a lot of people never been through shit, right? If you've never been through shit, you might be, your defenses might be lower when you see a wig. For me, rideshare has always actually been terrifying. Like, I'll pair you with men anymore. I'll pair you with men.
First, he promises that he will carry out the largest domestic deportation operation in history.
Oh, I gotta back this up. This is the one. I did a brief summary of what I was going to talk about and my own interpretations of the videos as well. But this is good. This is friggin' again. Like I don't think Trump or Biden are the most suitable options for the presidency right now. I think there are a lot more competent people, but it is what it is.
I mean, that makes sense.
Gotta hear this.
Okay. Woke influencer unintentionally creates epic campaign ad for Trump. Let's see.
You may have heard of Project 2025, but this is from Agenda 47. And you can
Love
read
all of it.
of these on his website.
Or almost all of
First,
it.
he promises that he will carry out the largest domestic deportation operation in history.
Get out.
He will also ask for the death sentence for anyone convicted of human trafficking. He will close the Department of Education and return all education standards to the states to decide.
Like that's gonna have to be a more phased. Like that's end state. And there could be like a federal management, but it absolutely has to be way more decentralized. I absolutely agree with that. At least.
He will put prayer back into school, and he will criminalize any race-based advantage programs. He will end the Affordable Care Act. He will ban gender-affirming care for adults and children, and
That's
he will
a lie.
ban any federal dollars
Just for children. That's a lie.
from going towards gender-affirming care, which means anyone with government-provided health care will no longer be able to access gender-affirming care except for...
They love lying about that, by the way. Like, can I just say, that's a complete fucking lie.
Yep.
Trump has not promised you ban it for adults. And why y'all run with this sick lie? I see it everywhere. And then you look at what they quote from Trump saying, and he is specifically talking about kids. But, y'all are big on those self-fulfilling prophecies. So if you want it that bad, keep pushing for it, bitch. I'll always figure out a way to get my E. I swear to God, I will. I don't care. Girl, I will always figure out a way to keep my transition going. But keep pushing it. Y'all might lose access to that shit if that's what you want so damn bad. Anytime I see someone, I get tagged in this shit, right? Like I'm the right wing trainer, so I get tagged in this shit. I'll get tagged by libs talking about.
There was a trans woman, a Patricia officer, decades ago, when I was first starting out, and he was treated, or she was treated very much with respect, and stuff like that. And also someone that, and Blair White is trans as well. So I just wanted to be clear, like. And there are people like this who are calling out a lot of bullshit. People that are pretending that there's something that they're not, just to get access to people.
Blair, what do you think about him saying this? He's going to ban gender affirming care. And it's always, always, always in the context of kids. Not once has he made the declaration that it's for adults. And again, you're lucky he's not. You're lucky he's not, because clearly you want it so damn bad. You're manifesting it. You're speaking it into existence constantly, right? And I will always find a way to get my shit, right? I will always find a way to keep the transition going. Maybe y'all can't, because apparently y'all can't even afford, this always kills me, by the way. Y'all talk.
My family is also very instrumental. Just someone talking about being a guitar player, and a lot of people do name their guitars. My stepfather and my biological father were in bands, and one country music and one was rock, and then it's like Christian rock, or what you're gonna call it, after 12-string guitar, all of that stuff. Really, really talented, really good singers, both. And there's other talent within my family as well. And then I also have a friend from Gaspé who was in Montreal with us as well. Her name is Pamela Rooney, and she's big in Gaspé, like for country music. She's freaking gorgeous. She's married with kids, relax, with a kid. And she's been to Nashville a bunch of times, like to sing there and stuff like that, and perform. Like I've been on stage with her, like when at Spurs, like when I was at 18, like when I was going to Kingston. Sorry, when I was going to CMR before Kingston, and I'd hang out and drink and play pool and listen to country music. And anyway,
talk about how hormone prescriptions, and it's just so inaccessible to people. And y'all
look
complain
at our
about the
bands,
cost.
like it brings so much joy to like every event.
My hormones cost me $30 once a month. $30. $35.99, right? He picked up my hormones this morning. $11. Cop sucker, right? Like I'm not trying to suck off the cops. as potential terrorist threats? How dare he be like, you know what? We got to house people. We got to incentivize family. I know y'all hate family.
Okay, so I don't know if
y'all
anyone
did you
watched this.
dirty,
There's
but
a
you
lot
know,
more stuff on the platform that that I do agree with, and then there's some things that I there are areas of concern, but I just want to move on. And Blair White, I highly recommend people watch her content.
make me a communist. I went to college in California, babes. I was so disgusted by the environment that I created a YouTube channel and started talking politics. And look how my life has blossomed. Thank you for everything. And that's called fighting for the light, right? You're rewarded when you fight for the light. You're living in.
And look at Rachel Levine. I don't know if people know who I'm talking about here. Let me just show you the picture. You will know the picture more than the name. And these are the people. I'm not targeting specific groups. I'm talking about specific people, and I mean it to be peaceful. But Rachel Levine is a man, you know, identified as a man his entire friggin' life, you know, and now in the last couple of years has taken on this role, which it is what it is, but like making a lot of important decisions and getting a lot of airtime, getting paid to prop up, you know, stuff that are not as friggin' important in the world right now as everything else that's going on, right? Like why is this person focused on woke stuff and diversity stuff, all of this shit, and not focused on getting the truth about Russia and Ukraine, getting the reality of fucking Palestine and Israel, knowing about your airspace, knowing what's being sprayed in your fucking airspace. You know what I mean? Focus on the stuff that matters instead of like trying to focus on getting tampons in the men's bathroom, right? Because like the guys I know, every time that people put the tampon friggin' dispensaries in the bathrooms, especially in the fucking combat arms trades, the guys are ripping them off the walls. Okay, they don't want them in there, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't care. I find it hilarious. I'm not promoting violence or destruction of property, but I honestly I think it's hilarious, and those are real men doing that, and I don't care. I said what I said. I don't even care anymore. It's hilarious. Every time I hear a friggin' story of a soldier ripping a fucking tampon dispensary out of the man's bathroom, I'm like, you know, I'm not hating it. I am not hating it. You know, sorry, I'm trying to get back to the video here because there's just one other good point from Blair. 104 minutes in. Just in case I have to stress me out from scratch again. 103.52.
Indoctrinating me, trying to make me a communist. I went to college in California, babes. I was so disgusted by the environment that I created a YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, sorry.
And started talking politics.
So even with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, again, I don't know what the truth is, but there's just a lot of strong allegations and data out there that would suggest that Michelle Obama may be Michael Obama, and that the children could be from their childhood or, you know, their adulthood, but close friends of the Obamas, and who actually, you know, birthed these friggin' children and assisted with the birth, and not them, and assisted with the cover-ups and stuff like that. So again, this is just another example of like, I'm not trying to target a specific demographic at all, but I'm just saying like, what and why lie to everyone as well about if you are a, you know, a biological man, why lie to people about that if you want to push, you know, equality and stuff like that, like why lie? And then with Jacinda Ardern as well, like there's strong data and evidence. Again, I'm not saying it's true or not, but like that Jacinda Ardern may also be a trans woman, and it's the lying about that, and like someone taking the position, you know, and pretending that they're a woman instead of a woman actually doing it, like a biological woman doing it, having a man that's, you know, playing woman. I fucking hate saying it, but it's just a reality of the world. I try not to offend people, but it's just like, just let's be a little bit more honest about that, you know. And there's like other questionable people as well, and even with Macron, I already shared that with like not only pedophilia with his trans wife, but could have been like not only substantially older, but in his 30s when Macron was 15 and they started their sexual relationship, and then left his wife and his family for Macron when he was like 15 years old, and he was in his 30s, like I said, and again pretending to be a woman, and everyone and so why fucking lie about this stuff? Like it's infuriating that, and that's why I want to talk about this stuff, because it needs to be talked about. It's not to hate anyone. It's just like we should just address it.
And look how my life has blossomed. Thank you for everything. And that's called fighting for the light, right? You're rewarded when you fight for the light. You're living in squalor and destitute energy. Maybe not in your home, but squalor and destitute energy because you're fighting for darkness.
Misgendering. Misgendering is incorrectly referring to a person's gender.
Misgendering.
By incorrectly assuming their gender identity.
The entitlement.
Or using incorrect pronouns.
It doesn't matter if your misgendering is intentional or accidental. What it really is harmful, disrespectful, and exhausting.
We can fight misgendering by remembering that we cannot and should not be assuming anyone's gender.
Our assumptions are not what define others' realities.
So it doesn't matter the intention. This is the world they live in. It doesn't matter if you actually tried to harm them. It didn't matter if it was intentional, accidental. You are just as much of a, heretic, a sinner. I mean, that's just a sick way to live. And I can see that it's exhausting. You look quite sleepy, right? You're asleep. Y'all call yourselves woke, but you're very much asleep, right? Wake up. And going back to that call me shit, let's look at this study right here. Let me find this. 44% of millennials think referring to someone by the wrong gender should be a criminal offense. That's how much y'all have been, like I just said to this other trick, demoralized. That you are willing to give up speech rights as liberals. Y'all are willing to sell freedom and humanity and truth down the river because you don't want your feelings hurt. That's sick. And I don't care how offensive this sounds. Sometimes y'all need just like a swift boot in your ass. If you're getting misgendered everywhere you go, 99% of the time, it's your fault. It's your fault for having expectations that don't line up with how you're actually showing up in the world, right? And again, this is because 99% of the time, it is accidental. I know y'all are narcissists, so you think everyone's thinking about you at all times, but most people really aren't thinking about you, babe. I promise you the most humbling thing you come to the realization of as an adult is that people don't really think about you that much. Ain't nobody going through their mind spinning, what do I call this person? It's instinctual. And it's based on how you look on an instinctual level. Not saying people don't intentionally try to, hurt people they think might be trans, of course, but at the end of the day, and
it's just more of that, right? Like these people that are hating on people that are straight and or people who are, I don't know, it's just people who I don't understand. Like there's just so much fucking hate. So I just wanted to show you, I haven't watched this, but I don't care about this. Okay, so they're just trying to blame the mass shootings, multiple ones, on oppression. In the last few years, the major ones have been by people that are within that community. Again, not the LGBT community, people that are crazy. Yeah, and a lot of misinformation regarding it as well, and then justification for it, and oh, thanks for listening in, Mark. And I hope like it gets so negative like this, and I don't mean to slam groups. It's just like these people are ruining our lives and ruining our countries. They honestly are, and I don't mean to exaggerate it. And I'm talking about the people that we're singling out, right? This is just to give examples of what not to do in the future, not to target these people or cause harm unless they've committed crimes. And then I'm really hoping that this spreads awareness so that law enforcement investigates these people and that people within the legal systems start doing more work to protect people against people like that, right? That will target people, like that will not give them insurance, or that will try to like force them out of rural areas, that will try to force their farmland to shut down, all because of, again, like just like false versions of reality in people's heads. And and living in a metaverse, right? Like get out of the metaverse, get out in the friggin' rural areas, right? And sow your land, plant your seeds. So anyway, I will leave it at that on that note, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful rest of your Sunday.